Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Phantasy Star on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode we went to Motavia, talked to the governor, and he gave us a letter that we're supposed to take to an Esper named Noah to the north. Noah will be our fourth party member, and he is like the Princess of Moonbrook from Dragon Warrior 2, where he is basically just a squishy wizard. And unfortunately, he is so squishy that he's not going to last too long in this episode, but that's because they've got some pretty tough monsters coming up in the cave here, and the cave is actually pretty long, so take the whole episode to get through this. It's a pretty long episode, so we run into some new enemies here on the way to the cave. These barbarians. They have they drop pretty good amount of Mercedes, and you also get a cola when you defeat them. So the cola restores 10 hit points. So we're gonna need a lot of healing in this dungeon coming up, because, like I said, it's pretty long, got some pretty tough enemies in there. Luckily though, there are some enemies in here that we're going to encounter who can use the talk command too. And when you talk with an enemy, they will basically just say something to you, and you won't have to fight them. So it can obviously only be used on, humanoid enemies. The chat spell that Alice learned, that allows you to talk with characters who are humanoid but don't necessarily speak, I guess, the common language, the common tongue. Basic is, as they call it in Star Wars. So, luckily the trip to this thing is pretty straightforward. There's nowhere else we can really go. All the other past directions are blocked by those sand ants. So we're forced up this little mountain ridge, which will take us to the cave where we will find Noah. Now this cave we're gonna have to come back to much later, because there's actually a third floor that we can get to. There's a really powerful enemy in there that we'll need to defeat later on, but right now, we're just far too weak to defeat the enemy, so we'll just skip it, but we will be making a return back to this cave later on. So, get familiar with it. This cave will introduce a new mechanic that we'll be taking care of, that we'll be using a lot in the next dungeon, the next optional dungeon that we're going to go to. Where there is holes in the floor, and you can fall down the hole. Usually that's can be a problem if you're trying to if the hole is blocking the way you need to go. You'll have to disarm it with the trap spell. But for these first few dungeons, the holes are actually going to be beneficial. It'll allow us to skip parts of the dungeon. And then we'll see those parts of the dungeons later on when we make our way back. So, a lot of bomb traps are going to start appearing with some of these enemies. Use a cure spell. That restores up to 80 HP. And Alice's heal spell restores 20. The burgers restore 40, we have fewer of them, and any colas that we get, like I said earlier, they restore 10. So, in this dungeon, when we first start off, there's a way to the north, and the north path takes you to a staircase that goes down, and there's also a south passage. We're going to go the south way first, because there's a treasure there, and then there's one of those holes that we can drop down. We'll drop down that hole, and then we'll explore the north part of the dungeon when we are leaving. Otherwise, if you didn't take the hole, you'd have to kind of move all the way up to the center of the dungeon again. So, like I said, that hole actually will save us some time. Like, you don't mean we'll miss all the treasure on the north half, but we'll get that when we come back. So, got some tarantulas. We could have ran into them outside the dungeon where we got the shortcakes, but we didn't, but they're plentiful in here, so those tarantulas can be a Pretty dangerous enemy. We got some easier enemies though. These red slimes, they fall pretty easily. We've also run into some of those owlbears. Those are easy to defeat as well. So the main problem is those tarantulas, because they can shoot you with their webs, and then their webs prevent your character from acting for a certain amount of turns. So there's some of those owlbears. Come down here and we grab 20 Mercedes. And we run into these farmers. These farmers, they're not tough. There's east farmers and there's north farmers. Both farmers you can talk with. So you don't really have to fight any of these guys. I'm just going to fight them just to show them off. Like I said, the biggest problem with them is they come in large groups. Like I said, you can avoid fighting with them. All you have to do is use the talk command, and they'll say something to you. They say random stuff. You know, and then the battle just ends. Now, of course, you won't get any experience or Mercedes when you do that, but you'll save, you know, your MP and healing items. Like I said, these guys appear in large groups, and when you're attacking them, you can't, like, specify who you want to attack. So it's likely we can concentrate all our firepower, say that one that has only 13 hit points left, and finish it off, and then just cut down the amount that are attacking us. So the game likes to, it seems like it likes to try to attack enemies evenly. So it'll kind of focus on the toughest one, bring it down, and then go to the next toughest one. I guess kind of like the tactics in Ogre Battle, which I played, I think, 2 years ago. We set it on the strong command, where they always seem to go after the strongest enemy to try to weaken it. And then, of course, when that one enemy is weakened, then a new enemy becomes the strongest, and they try to take that one out, so. We defeated the farmers and got some money, and we gotta heal ourselves. We should let, from now on, I'm gonna let Odin drop down to really low hit points for healing him, because that Myau's cure spell does 80. Odin's the only one right now who has more than 80. He has 96, so we're gonna let him drop down a little bit. So more tarantulas and more bombs. Beautiful. Keep heading straight this way. If we go straight again and then left, we will eventually find the what you call it, the stairway down. But if we go this way, we'll just find the hole, and we'll fall down the hole. And that'll take us to where the staircase would take us. So the staircase is right to the front. So we just avoided a lot of walking by falling down that hole. And avoided a lot of random encounters. And we're not going to miss any dungeon by falling in the hole, because like I said, when we leave this dungeon, we will be leaving up the north way. That staircase takes us toward the north part of the first floor. So, not going to miss anything. So the second floor, we got quite a few treasure chests to go into. Like I said, there was a secret passageway to find that there's some good treasure down there, but there's also a really tough monster down there that we aren't equipped to deal with. Luckily, like I said, the good thing is to find that monster, get to the third floor. It's a secret passage, so you're not going to stumble on it just by walking around and inadvertently end up fighting this really tough monster, this dragon monster, so. And this way. This base can get a little bit confusing, because there's so many short turns. But there's maps on RPG Classics, on VG maps, that show all the levels, so. I think a Phantasy Star wiki where you can get some stuff too. So, Alice to heal herself. She's running low on HP though, on MP though, so she won't be able to use any more spells. Cola there. Like I said, we'll wait for Odin to drop a little bit more, so then we can, when he'll get all those 80 hit points back when Myau uses the cure. So. Cure costs 6 MP, so it actually is a better value of healing than Alice's heal spell, which is 20 for 2. 8 for Alice to heal 80 hit points, but only 6 with Myau. Down this way, got some treasure down here. Right off the turn. Grab it, and we got a burger. That's 40 hit point heal. And I get a little lost here. I actually missed the turn because I got into a battle right when I was supposed to turn to the right. And unfortunately, you can't like where you're supposed to turn, you can't see to the right. You can't see the hole there. So I actually had to move up a little forward and like, oops, went the wrong way. So added a few extra steps, but that's okay. What's not okay though is what happens to Noah when we get him, and we're very close to getting Noah. So you have to have the letter from the governor to get Noah though. So he's not going to be very friendly when we first encounter him. Like I said, we're running low on items and stuff, so whenever we run into any of these farmers, we'll just talk with them, save our stuff. Because this is right now, Myau has used up all his MP that can be used for healing, and so is Alice, so we'll just have to rely on the burgers and colas that we got. Luckily, like I said, any of those barbarian enemies we meet on the outside, they will drop colas after each battle, so. Almost set. Keep going forward. Alice gained a level earlier and gained a spell. It's actually an offensive spell. It's fire. And look at that, we ran into like enemies right after one another, so. And they all talk to us, so it's okay. When we come back, like I said, to fight those, the dragon later on in the game, we can fight the North farmers, and I can show off their stats then. Because by the time we have to come back here to fight that red dragon, we'll be much more powerful, and these guys will be a walk in the park. So, you don't have to worry about losing a lot of resources like we are now. Just follow this winding path. Eventually we'll get to a door that will take us to Noah. Step inside, there he is. Who are you? I'm busy with my training now. Do not be a nuisance. I received a letter from the governor. Please read it. Let me see. Our duty is clear. We must protect the planets of the Oval System from evil. We must first go to the Gothic Forest and find Dr. Lavino. We can use an underground passage from a manhole in the spaceport. So back in Paseo, there was where we took the rocket. There was that manhole, that orange manhole, and now that you couldn't do anything with it previously, but now that Noah's joined your party, we can open it up and get to another part of Paseo planet. Unfortunately, Noah will not be making it with us because Noah is really squishy. And those tarantulas all ganged up on him and just defeated him. So it makes you wonder, how did he get here by himself? Because he had to make the trip to this place all by himself. Unfortunately, because Noah is defeated, he won't be getting any of the experience that we're getting here. But we have that optional dungeon that we were told about. We could have went to it after we got the short cape, but I wanted to save that optional dungeon just so I can have Noah to gain some experience. All the characters' max level is level 30, but Noah takes less experience to reach the max level than the other characters. So even though he's not getting, experience here, when I max out levels for the bonus episode, he'll be okay, because he'll catch up with us eventually. So. Even though Alice had kind of a head start on both Odin and Myau, it was only those first few levels that really didn't cost a lot of experience to gain. It was not actually really that far ahead of experience. So, and the other few, because toward the end of the game, when battles start giving more experience, we'll make up that deficit quickly. So back on the first floor here, we took those steps. Basically a mirror image of the southern part. Taking a right will take us down to the southern part, back to where that junction where the hole was. So we're just going to go north this time, and like the southern part, When we get to the top, if we go all the way over to the left, we'll end up getting a treasure chest. We grab that treasure chest. And that is all the treasures on the first 2 floors here. Like I said, there's some treasure, 2,000 Mercedes on the 3rd floor, the hidden floor. But there's also that enemy that we don't want to run into, so I'm just going to beat feet and make a retreat. And head on out to take Noah back to the town and go back to the hospital, not the hospital, the church. Churches restore people to life, and the hospitals basically function as the inn that get you back to full MP and HP. Just keep heading out this way. Like I said, we already encountered all the enemies that we can, so we can just cut out all these screens. Like I said, unfortunately, Noah passed away, and he's not gaining any of that experience. So, like I said, we'll get him that experience when we get back on Palma there, the starting planet. Alright. Let's head on into the town. Like I said, whenever somebody is defeated in battle, you have to go to the church to heal them up. Church is also where you use, if you use your teleport spell, the fly spell, which we haven't learned yet, it takes you back to the last church that you went to. That's going to be really important because later on, there's going to be a quest that we're going to go on where we're going to pass through a whole bunch of towns. But if we don't stop at any of the towns, if we don't stop at any of the churches in any of the towns, you can save a lot of backtracking by just visiting the church at the beginning of the side quest, ignoring all the other churches, and then that way when you don't have to backtrack all the way, you can just use your fly spell to go back to the first church. So you just gotta be hopeful that nobody kicks the bucket during that quest. Otherwise you'll be forced to hit up a church and revive them. I could have done a reset and not had Noah been defeated, but I didn't feel like replaying all that stuff again. Plus I wanted to show off, that what happens when you're defeated and how to revive characters. So now to the left there is the manhole, but we're not going where we're supposed to go right now. We were going back to that optional dungeon south of Scion, the town that Odin's from, over to the east. And of course, every time we come to this Caminite here, we're going to stop at this Sulu's place and rest up. Still making good use of the free inn, so. And unfortunately, the capture card just messed up there a little bit, but we already seen a lot of what's happened here. Just you go south and to the east. Sometimes I can't tell if the capture card messes up until after the video has been recorded. But lucky it's nothing major. But what is major is buying some upgraded armor for both Odin and for Alice. Now that we can afford it, it'll help us out in our trip to this optional cave to the south here. So we'll just check out our stats. Alice on 98 defense. Then Odin's defense is 69. So let's give that new armor on. And then we'll check out the stat increases. So Alice was 98, and she jumps up to 113, so she gets plus 15 more defense. And Odin gets plus 10 because his iron armor was a little bit stronger than the light coat that Alice had. So we can get rid of both of those 2 old armors, sell them here at the secondhand shop. And next big purchase, I guess, hopefully we should be able to get enough Mercedes in this optional town. We can buy, back in Caminite, we can buy some better shields, but we'll need 1,400 Mercedes per shield. So we don't have that right now. I guess we could grind to get one of them if we wanted to, But we should get a decent amount of Mercedes in this next dungeon that we're going to. And we should get some good experience for Noah, and most importantly, we'll be getting the first weapon for Myau. Yeah, Myau's still doing, just attacking with his cat claws, I guess. Which is a pretty good agility weapon in the Final Fantasy Legends series, but not so much here. So we'll make our save out here, and then next episode we'll head into this dungeon, power up Myau and Noah. So take care, have a good one, thanks for following along, and see you in the next episode. Take care, bye.